because due to less guidance on data sharing. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. So our next series of discussion, I'll just hand over to Surya, and Surya, probably you can take over and discuss next. Surya, over to you. You there?
Yeah, sorry, I was on mute. Thank you, Mr. Ganguly. Thank you, everyone, for the lovely panel thoughts and the point that has come across. I will move on to the last panel of the session. That is deep dive into some real life applications in Insurtech. So essentially, we have come across some foundations, some technical aspects in insurance, but now is the time for some action. So we'll see how Insurtech is actually disrupting the industry from various angles from across the globe in different sectors. So I would like to introduce my panelist, Jose Abraham Garcia, who is joining us from Panama. Oluwasein is joining us from Nigeria, and Maria is joining us from Luxembourg. So over to you guys, if you could just take a couple of seconds to introduce yourself briefly.
Hi, Surya.
Hi, Sawyer. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon. If you guys can quickly introduce yourselves, we can start with Jose.
Okay.
Yeah, hi, Surya. I'm Jose Garcia from, I'm actually Mexican, but I live in Panama. And I'm a co-founder at Presto, and we're a digital broker for motor and motor insurance.
Awesome. Oluwasein, over to you.
Yeah, hi, Sawyer. Good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Sean Ayigbusi from Nigeria. I'm the co-founder and CEO of CoverDoor. And what we do at CoverDoor is to create easy access to affordable and innovative healthcare insurance for the underserved consumers. Typically, that is what we do at CoverDoor. Thank you.
Over to you, Maria.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'm Maria, co-founder and CEO of Ibiza. And Ibiza is a technology platform for insurance actors to provide cost-efficient and automated parametric insurance for agriculture and especially to smallholder farmers.
Excellent. So we have some interesting mix of Insurtech entrepreneurs here in this panel who would definitely going to take us through some interesting applications that we would like to learn on the how and what part. To start with a quick brief, the insurance industry has seemingly awakened from a slumber in the last few years, if I may say so, and is now comparatively surging with innovative energy and Insurtech propositions. However, if you look, the most advanced technologies are rarely utilized, and with the industry still learning to build closer engagements with customers, the market remains still vulnerable to the entrance of alternatives or perhaps non-traditional providers. So the most disruptive alternative providers are likely to be the technology specialists, as leveraging the latest technology will enable them to operate more efficiently and greatly improve the customer service. I think in the last panel, some of the panelists have mentioned about Facebook, perhaps like Google, or even we may see other platforms like Spotify. They may also, loop in their services into the insurance market, where a direct competition with the incumbents may come in picture, which is already in its it has already started, I mean. So some non-insurance companies, as I said, like Google, have ventured in this industry, but if you look at the holistic picture, there are some failures as well that have left them largely undated. So other big tech companies like Amazon, Apple are all potential threats to these traditional insurers, as are telecommunication companies and reinsurers as well. So now with this, I would say the most advanced technologies are, as I said, it's really utilized in the industry. It's still learning stage. Everyone, every professionals in the industry, they're building closer engagement. But now not taking more time on this, just a quick reflection through some interesting cases. I would like to jump on to the first question to Jose, uh, who is in the motor insurance in the Southern American part. So, Jose, can you take us through your case of using tech to power motor insurance products and its impact in the Panama market? How exactly you're doing it?
Yes, for sure. Thank you, Surya, for the invitation. So as you know, in Latin America, the insurance gap is quite big. 4 out of 10 cars here in Panama are not insured, and in general, in Latin America, on average, there's about 3 to 5 cars not insured per every 10 cars. So it's a huge gap. And in a Presto, what we do is basically simplify the process to make it more accessible for people and more affordable as well. And we work on the premise that nobody wakes up in the morning saying I'm gonna buy my insurance, and I'm really happy about that. So in order to increase the motivation of buying your insurance, you have to make the process really simple and fast. But that is actually countering to the requirements of the insurance companies. So actually, there's a divergence of interest between the consumer and the insurance. The insurance wants more data, wants to know more about the customer, but the customer wants the process to be really quick. So we at the Presto are really in the middle, trying to mediate between the both interests. And we apply technology backwards in the sense that, when we started the process of buying or building the platform for the user to buy the insurance, the insurance company required 32 fields in order to insure your car, plus a car inspection. So it's a lot of requirements for a user. And what we ended up doing is going field by field to see how we could automate every one of those fields for the user by getting data from other public data sources and by putting together data sets that were not readily available, like the value of your car, which is not readily available in these countries. So you need to really be solving very specific problems in the value chain or in the process of insuring a car or a vehicle in this type of situations. So at the Presto, we use data automation, we use AI to inspect for damages in the car, and to be able to comply with the insurance companies and give them all the data they need while keeping the process very simple for the user. So it is a very challenging situation. We spent 2 years to build full coverage, the full coverage product, and to connect 6 insurance carriers to the system. So it is very challenging on that end, and Insurtech companies have to spend a lot of time building their platforms and being very patient with insurance companies. So yeah, I think that's the experience that I can share with you guys on that end on using the technology.
Motor insurance is very interesting, and especially when you see the ratio of people insuring their uh, cars are quite in the lower end. So, how do you see this increasing in the Panama market? Or do you see any other model that would help, boost the market penetration, even with respect to usage of digital technologies?
Yeah, so I think we start with the basic needs of the user. So it is being more and more obligatory or mandatory to have your insurance, because if you don't have it, you're gonna get stopped by a police. I mean, and get a fine. So we start with that premise that law enforcement is helping in driving some of the consumer demand. But on the other hand, we get a lot of these comments from insurance companies where they say that insurance is a product that has to be pushed to the customer and not bought. And we really want to challenge that idea, because when we interview the customers and ask them how do they see the insurance product, they see it as a task they have to fulfill, and as getting your passport. And that's actually very specific term that they use. So they think that getting your insurance in these countries is like going into the embassy, the American embassy, and get your passport. So, and how do you actually improve the experience of getting your passport is by getting it really fast, right? So I think it starts with the process, and then the product, and then how you can use technology to empower that so that you can create a better experience for the user.
Absolutely. I mean, opportunities are immense. It's just that, how it is being nurtured, and even before that, how is it being recognized? Um, with this, I will move on to our next panelist, Maria. So, Maria she's in the field of skills as well as agriculture. So, to specifically moving on to the agriculture part, digital solutions are increasingly becoming means for farm operations to capture data on crop performance, livestock behaviors, equipment functionality, weather patterns, soil conditions, etc. So, with all these developments, how do you see insurance technology playing a role to benefit farmers? With some examples in Visa network.
Yeah, thank you. So, I mean, today there is a lot more digital platforms and let's say smart farming or advisory, and a lot of things that are now reaching or starting reaching the farmer. But the problem remains the same. That if one year the system, the yield is lost, then they don't have again money, and then they cannot use these tools, and they cannot buy quality seeds, and they cannot use this kind of let's say the advice that is being given by buying fertilizers or things like that. So at the end, the real enabler of and also something to give a peace of mind to farmers is the fact that they can count on insurance. Also, to get a credit, for example, to get a microcredit, they need a collateral. So I see insurance as, let's say, the fundamentals of farmers thriving with all the other, let's say, digital solutions that are coming to them. And I see a lot of synergies between these digital solution players and insurance as a distribution. Let's say these digital players distributing insurance products. So the problem that Ibiza is solving is that today these insurance products for agriculture or for crop insurance, the traditional way of doing it is indemnity-based products. So indemnity-based products is someone, a farmer, claiming after an event, and then someone going to the field doing a crop cut or an inspection of the field, going back, and then coming back. So it's a long process. It's very expensive, and and it's always more expensive even one visit to the field than what the farmer will pay a year. So there is no other way but using technology to change that model and make crop insurance affordable for the farmers and sustainable and profitable for the insurers. And I really like the opening words about yesterday was the day of sleep. And I also think that insurance is bringing peace of mind and making people sleep better. So that I really like a lot. and that yeah, and now there is technology, let's say, that can enable all this change, both in product and in process. And for agriculture is particularly important. Parametric insurance, particularly important, using satellite data for both product development and loss assessments, and the blockchain again, to bring a lot of elements behind in automation, in value chain integration, in other aspects, and also, of course, all to say to make these kind of products inclusive, affordable, and a better experience for farmers.
Absolutely. One of the pressing issues in agriculture would be first to identify, or rather get and process the farmers' data, or to understand where the agricultural insurance products are required in every part of the world. Perhaps the intensity will differ from geography to geography, but yeah, the problem will remain the same. And I think blockchain is one of the solutions that can perhaps best suit this kind of a need. Some great points touched there, Maria. Thank you very much for your views. With this, I'll just quickly move on to the next question to Oluwasun. Um, that is, as another hot topic, especially in semi-post-COVID world, which is the health insurance industry. This is going through a wave of digital transition, representing a new era of healthcare consumerism. Digital technology keep on evolving and finding very applications into medical.
Your sound is not coming out, Surya.
Am I
So we
audible?
can barely hear you.
Am I audible?
Now
Yes,
better.
Yeah,
you
you
are.
are audible now, sir.
Now you are. Yeah.
Sorry, I'll just quickly repeat that. So my next question is to Oluwasun. That is, as a hot topic, especially in a same post-COVID world, which is the health insurance industry. Um, Across the world, if you see, it's going through a wave of digital transition, representing a new era of healthcare consumerism. So digital technologies that keep on evolving and finding some novel applications in the medical and health insurance sector, even now when the industry is grappling with the peril of COVID-19. Can you take us through your case on how you see this developing, especially in the African marketplace, and also some interesting notes from Coverdo?
Okay. Thank you, Suya. Thank you very much. And quite an interesting topic we've been having. So as regards health insurance in Nigeria and in Africa, let me quickly give you a background. Just less than about 3% of Nigerians here in Nigeria have access or own any health insurance plan. And so that means that there's low penetration in health insurance in the Nigerian market and African market as a whole. So the place of digital technology, what's the first use of digital technology for us as a company, and in as much that as a company we are creating access or easy access to affordable and innovative health insurance products. What digital technology does for us is to we're trying to find we decided to find a model that would be able to create highly scalable access to health insurance products. First of all, giving the consumers easy access to health insurance, whereas they can access these plans directly from anywhere and anytime, and also on the part of the insurers, the health insurance companies, whereas they could also increase their or maximize their distribution strategy. So what we're doing is to create an open insurance API, which is similar to the open banking API model. And with this, we are able to connect, or should I say, create a digital ecosystem around health insurance, which leverages the channels or the resources of other third-party applications, especially in fintech startups, the banks and other digital platforms. So with our open insurance API as a company, we are able to plug into the platforms of other fintech companies. And these fintech companies now, they have mobile applications, they have USSD applications, and most importantly, they also operate a point of sales agent network, which this point of sales agent networks are people who are situated in very rural areas, and they carry out operations on behalf of banks to the consumers. So with this, we are able to embed our health insurance services into these channels, with these third-party applications from fintechs to banks, so that consumers or customers on their platforms would be able to easily access health insurance services directly from the host application. Over the past months, we've been able to integrate with some channels, and this is the use case of technology to us. And we've earlier on we're discussing how big giant tech companies are actually coming into the insurance space. Obviously, we can't stop them from coming. So we also understand that, and we want other people, other fintech companies also embrace retail insurance. So what we are doing is to power them, give them technology, enabling technology to make it easy for them to jump on insurance, so that with this we can work together to holistically drive or deepen insurance penetration in Nigeria and as well in Africa. So this is our use case of technology in Nigeria, because that's the first thing: increase the coverage, increase access to coverage. When people can actually access this health insurance, that's the first thing for us. And on the other hand, we're also working to make sure that health insurance processes are seamless for the customers. So in as much as we have created an approach whereas we can easily onboard customers from different channels and different platforms. So now, how does when they engage with health insurance, how seamless it is for them? So this is where digital technology also plays a role in that. Whereas we're using robotic process automation to make sure that when it comes to claims processes or policy management, customers can experience ease of speed. Number one, with RPA, we are able to automate the sharing of data across different stakeholders within the health insurance, from the service providers, which are the hospitals and pharmacies, to ourselves, which is the insurance or Insurtech intermediary, and to the HMO who will work with. So with that, we can facilitate easy access and easy sharing of data, and in turn increase the speed at which we deliver services to consumers. So that is what we do with our digital technology in Nigeria. Okay.
I think that's very interesting. I was very much eager to learn more on the open insurance policy. Have one policy and solve for many of the needs. Perhaps that's the concept, and I think that's one best fits with the insurance for shipping voyage. It's pretty interesting. All of you have touched upon some of the new areas that has come out, very interestingly to all our viewers, and of course the organizers as well. So thank you very much for that. We'll quickly move on to the Q&A. So we have one question from Tristan, specifically to Jose. That is, how do you rate the policies on Presto? Are you connected to the carriers via API calls, or did you build your own rating engine to calculate the premiums of the carriers?
Yeah, so thank you, Surya. Thank you, Tristan, for your question. Yeah, actually, we spent about 2 years building the API interfaces, not because of the time it takes to build interfaces, but because they were not ready to share data in the means of APIs. Some of these companies, they were working with Excel tables to actually quote their insurance rates. So as you may know, you have to really be patient with them. And we spent the last 2 years connecting to at least 14 in 2 different countries, which is Colombia and Panama. Fortunately, right now we have 9 with insurance with APIs. We actually built 2 for them for completely for free for us just to tie up. So sometimes you also have to work for free and build API interfaces for them. But yeah, it's a long process. And right now, what we're working with them is actually to share back that data we gather from the process, so that they can actually subscribe and improve their rates with our data, and that's gonna eventually do like a positive feedback loop to improve the rates in the platform. Yeah.
Great. Does that answer your question, Tristan? Any further questions on that?
Yeah, that was perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, Craig, due to interests of time, we are actually perfectly moving on time. So we would thank each and every panelist for this discussion and bringing us some of the key applications in their respective industries to help us understand how Insurtech is actually getting more relevant, for example, in agriculture, motor insurance, and life and health. This is absolutely brilliant, and thank you very much for your points and time for being here today. With this, we would move on to the last session of this conference.